Thank you for tuning in. Okay, this week we are continuing talking about just doing great things for God. You might have spiritual goals or goals for your family, or maybe you're trying to straighten up your finances or your health, whatever it may be. I really want you to act on faith. Faith acts now. So a lot of Christians, we talk about what we're going to do, but we don't do it. Okay, but faith will make you act right now. Those who don't take chances don't make advances. You know, as a Christian, we ought to be bold. We ought to step out of our comfort zone to where God wants us to be. Look with me in Psalms 35, verse 27. Let those who delight in my righteousness, okay, it's talking about people who are really wanting to live for God. They're really practicing this. Shout for joy and be glad and say evermore, great is the Lord who delights in the welfare of his servant. So the Bible's here talking about how God wants you to do well. God wants to bless you. So don't let anyone tell you that God doesn't want you to do well. Sometimes as believers, we think, well, you know, God just wants me to live his life, or there's always trouble and there's always problems and you're always dealing with heartache. Listen, that is not true, even though God uses those things in our lives. Look at Ephesians 3, verse 20. It says, now to him who's able to do more abundantly, more than we could ever ask, according to the power that works within us. So anything we could ever dream of or even think of, God wants to do more than that. We could have so much more if we would believe, that we would pray by faith, believe he's going to give us those things, which we do need, or which we want to be a blessing to others. So great things never come from your comfort zone. If you really want to go for it, you really want to get something done, you really want to be used of God, you're going to have to do things you don't want to do. You got to just step by faith, step out. Don't be afraid. At times we are going without knowing. And I want you to really get this down, because this right here, I have lived this my whole life. So I would fall in love, and this is important, with the big idea of what God wants me to do. Meaning, I know the destination. I know it is where God wants me to get to. But I'm not sure how to get from here to there. Or God will show me the next 2 or 3 steps. And then I stop and I just pray, going without knowing. Don't be afraid. I mean, just do it. God will show you as you go. You know, it's like carrying a small light with you, and you're only seeing a few steps at a time. But God's going to get you there. Okay, but you have to get moving. Look at Proverbs 16:3. And here's the verse, that whole thought there, you hear me say a lot, is with this. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place that he was to receive as an inheritance. So he went out not knowing where he was going. Do you see that? He just knew that God wanted to pack up and to go somewhere. He wasn't even sure where he was going to end up, but he just obeyed the voice of God. It's like giving unto the Lord of your time and your talents, giving of your tithe. You say, God, I know you want me to do this, but I don't know how you're going to supply for me, but God opens up the windows of heaven and he gives it. Look, dream big, because you serve a big God. Now, let me ask you, do you believe that? So if you do believe it, you serve a big God. I want you to step out in faith today. Be obedient unto the Lord and to believe he's going to lead and he's going to provide.